The Denver Nuggets are the best team in the league, and it is not close. Nikola Jokic is one of the best offensive players we have ever seen and has the perfect combination of role players around him, where they all trust each other, resulting in a team that you can never rule out even if they are down 20. But just how are you supposed to stop them if it is even possible? Before the video starts, it is important to note that the Nuggets have just won the series in 5 games. Everything starts with Nikola Jokic, who will most likely win his 3rd MVP in the last 4 seasons. He is one of the most special players to touch a basketball, and his size and touch make him extremely difficult to guard. Jokic can go straight up and score from his spots and even places where the defender wants him, but his playmaking is legitimately unstoppable to guard. Jokic is tall enough to see over any defenders, but if you double him, then you can find the open shooter. But we all know that Jokic has good offense. Now, what about his defense? You cannot spam pick and rolls and put Jokic in actions anymore because he isn't a liability. He has the reflexes and fast hands to knock balls out, resulting in 3 deflections a game and 237 total, which ranks 5th across the league. When defending the ball handler in the pick and roll, he has a 0.8 points per possession, and players shoot about 42.1% against him, in the 87th percentile. When defending the roll man, he ranks in the 73rd. Jokic is a legitimately good PNR defender, and putting him into actions will just hurt the offensive team, especially when there are numerous good and versatile defenders around him. Even in the paint, he can cause chaos and is very strong, as players shoot below 45% when posting up Jokic, and ranks in the 82nd percentile with a 0.81 points per possession against him. But when this goes wrong, what can get them out of the hole? The 4th quarter, and specifically clutch time offense. No matter how far down this team is, they can come back from anywhere. In game 2 against the Lakers, they were down 20 and 10 entering the 4th quarter, but just could not miss, scoring 32 points in the final 12 minutes. In game 1, they were down 12 early, but won the 3rd quarter 32-18, and this team is nearly similar to the Prime Warriors. They always have that run. You could never rule out the mid to late 2010s Warriors because they could always make a run, especially with their 3-point shooting to erase a lead in an instant. And the Nuggets are like that even if they are not a prominent 3-point shooting team, actually ranking last in 3s attempted per game during the regular season. Though in the playoffs, it is a different story, as this year through April 24th, they shot 76 threes across their first 2 games, 3rd most per game across the 16 playoff teams, and though they haven't shot well, there is no doubt the shots eventually will fall. In last year's playoffs, the Nuggets had the best clutch record, as games within 5 points in the last 5 minutes at 8-4 and shot 47.5% from the field, 4th of the 16 playoff teams. This regular season, they had the 3rd best record at 26-14 and had the best field goal percentage at 53% and 3rd best plus minus at plus 2.3 per game. This group has continuity, as Jokic has been a Nugget since 2015, Murray 2016, MPJ 2018, though his first game was the next year, Gordon 2020, and KCP 2022, who actually fits very well into their system as a 3-and-D type role player that can play off ball next to Jokic. But their second guy, Jamal Murray, is also unstoppable when it comes playoff time. He has that X factor where he can just flip a switch when it comes to the playoffs and become one of the best players in the league and the best second option as someone that fits perfectly next to Jokic and in Mike Malone's system, as we have seen this for years. In 2019, he would help the Nuggets beat the last playoff Spurs, and then went toe-to-toe with CJ McCollum and Damian Lillard to force one of the most underrated series to 7. That year was fun. An average 24 game in that series, including 34 in back-to-back games, 3 and 4. The next year, he would battle Donovan Mitchell in some of the most fun games in the bubble and would come back from down 3-1 multiple times to get to the Western Conference Finals, before going nuclear last season to help win the title. He averaged 26.1 points and 7.1 assists on nearly 40% from 3 and would consistently step up when it mattered, with the 6th most clutch points last season in the playoffs. He was nice in isolation and knocked down big shots and was a perfect second option. He was so good that he was reaching top 15 player and top 5 point guard talks. People were putting him above Trey, Kyrie, Fox, and plenty of other perennial all-stars, while calling Murray the best player to never make an all-star game. Do you need a clutch 3 or momentum-changing play? Give the ball to Murray. He put himself in star territory, and it is no different this season. Murray hit a buzzer beater to come back against the Lakers in game 2 over one of the best defenders of the century in Anthony Davis. He is a dynamic finisher that can make shots from everywhere on the court and is a very underrated playmaker, overshadowed by Jokic's greatness in that aspect of the game, but is legitimately a top 25 player and one of the biggest playoff risers in the NBA. Aside from that, the Nuggets are just one of the best teams in the league. After the All-Star break, the Nuggets went 21-6, tied with the Celtics for the best record, and had the 2nd best best plus minus with an average of plus 9.6. They played some of their best and most efficient offense in that stretch, shooting 51% from the field and passed for over 31 assists per game, both first in league. And this is after they got healthy. It was earlier in the year, but don't forget about Jamal Murray and Aaron Gordon's absences. Yet they were still able to contend for the first seed with one of the healthiest teams in the Thunder, with their second best player not missing a single game all year. Even then, throughout the entire season, they were still tied for the second best record with 57 wins, most by a Denver team in over a decade. They were 4th in field goal percentage, but what really helped them is they controlled their own pace. Though they are 14th about average in points per game, the Nuggets sit 5th in offensive rating because of how efficient they are and the slower pace they play at, ranking 5th slowest in the league. They limit transition possessions with 17 offensively a game and 18 defensively, both below average by a solid amount, and are very successful in the half court in both ways. Though Jokic is more conditioned than most think, and playing in Denver 41 times a season does help that with their elevation, it still favors them to play slower and get their offense set up because it suits their play style so much and how everyone can succeed in that style. They also have a very good defense, which ranks 8th in defensive rating and 6th in opponents' points per game. They do not have many bad defenders. Like previously mentioned, Jokic has turned into an above average defender. Aaron Gordon is arguably the most versatile defender in the league and can guard 1 through 5, while Michael Porter Jr. has turned into a very good point of attack guy with lengthiness and perimeter speed. Peyton Watson off the bench offers plenty of upside for the future, and alongside Kentavious Caldwell-Pope can lock down guys. The system works so well, and I keep talking about how everything works because of head coach Mike Malone. Coaching a great basketball mind in Jokic does help a lot, but Malone is one of the best coaches in the league, and the team is built together. You really could not ask for a much better fit around Jokic. A great scoring second option who can relieve ball handling duties and score in the clutch. Some great shooting wins that are point of attack defenders, a versatile defender who can space the floor but thrives in the dunker spot, and though losing Bruce Brown, some capable defenders off the bench. Though it is important to say the bench has taken a hit, but the starting lineup is still elite. Is this the most talented starting five? Maybe not. Many combinations of Tatum, Brown, White, Drew, KP, and Horford are very good, but this team just fits, and playing with Jokic does make it very easy. This is the best starting lineup this season, but just how good are they? They've scored 2,457 points, most by any lineup by far this season in 958 minutes, and on a 48-minute average, 123.1 points per game, and they do it on 53.3, 38.9, 81.3 splits. But over this big of a sample size, what is their plus minus? Well, just 34 5-man lineups have a plus minus of over 50, and 9 have it over 100 this season. Some of the best starting fives are here, like the Celtics and Thunder, but there seems to be a cap at plus 200. Wait, where are the Nuggets? Plus 282, 83 higher than second place. No lineup has been that good since the 2016 Thunder. 8 years from now, one of the best teams to never win a championship, and if the 2016 Warriors didn't exist, they'd probably make the finals. It might be impossible to beat them 4 times in 7 games.